Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Modern Podcast. Today we have G Dizzle on. He is a creative producer for many, many YouTubers, probably a lot that you actually watch. He's like kind of like the behind the scenes of a lot of these big YouTubers that play games on Roblox. With over 100 million total views and counting, he's been increasing like crazy lately. So, G Dizzle, welcome to the podcast. Tell me a little bit about yourself and all of your story and stuff. And how did you become a creative producer for some of the biggest names in the scene on Roblox, YouTube?
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, I kind of started by doing YouTube myself. I think if anybody's like looking to kind of get into the behind the scenes, like video editor, thumbnail designer, or what I do, like creative producer, starting YouTube is kind of the best. I've been doing YouTube for like 5 years, like in total. Had like an Overwatch channel. I did Roblox for a little bit. I had like Fortnite channel, and I eventually, I had some success, but then I kind of quit because YouTube in general is just it's kinda inconsistent, whether it be the money, the views, the consistency of anything. It's just really kinda all over the place, and the fact it's not something that, you can put 100% of your effort into a video and it could flop. But if I put 100% of effort into my job, there's like a very, very, very low chance it's gonna flop. So, I eventually quit. I focused on school. I finished school, and then I got hired by Bax, a very large Roblox YouTuber. Worked with him for about 6 months, and then he let me go. But luckily, I was hired by Digito, and then I got hired by Craner, and then I had so many YouTubers messaging me that I was like, well, I need to start outsourcing. So I hired two of my best friends. Then one of them had to leave, and then I hired another person. And they've been working with people. We work with like people like Night Fox and stuff like that, and Craner, and so we started working for a lot of creators. But yeah, it's that's basically kind of how I got to my where I am today, just doing YouTube, quitting YouTube, focusing on the behind the scenes of YouTube, and then kind of just making my own company to kind of help YouTubers.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I feel like a lot, like you said, a lot of stuff happened very quickly. So can you give me kind of like a timeline of when all of this stuff happened? Like
Yeah,
when were you a YouTuber, and then when did you like kind of quit that stuff and start picking up people?
yeah. So about a year is when I kind of quit YouTube. I kind of tried coming back to it, but I was like, it's just not for me. I made a channel. It's deleted now, but it was a variety channel, and I was getting a lot of views, like 30, 40,000 per video, doing find the floppas or these type of find the games and doing all these different stuff. And I eventually was like, it's not for me. I was making money off of it, but I was like, I rather focus on improving creators' views and then have my own career because I know it's eventually going to come down or it's eventually going to blow up and it's just going to be too much eyes looking at me. And I'd rather be one of those people in the background that isn't really known. But yeah, then I started working for Bax almost exactly 9 months ago. I worked with him for about 6 months, and then I kind of he let me go because he realized I wasn't like learning, and I was kind of doing this as an educational thing. Like I really wanted to learn. Like he wasn't really paying me like an insane amount of money, but it was a decent enough to live off of, and also working with him, I was able to understand the behind the scenes. He taught me basically everything I know today. Obviously, I've improved a lot since I started working with or stopped working with him, but yeah, I learned a lot from him, and then I want to say a week before, I think it was almost a week before he let me go, I started working with Digito. And then I posted a bunch of stuff about Digito, like the success I had with him. And then I got hired by Craner,
Wow.
probably a couple weeks later. And then during that time, I was getting so many people to message me. So I think it was a week before I started working with Craner. I started training my friend to help YouTubers, and then eventually he started with Gaming Curious and Night Fox, and then I had my other friend. He was working with Ashley the Unicorn, and who else was he working for? Zachary Zaxar, and then we had a couple other people on and off work, and then they quit because they didn't have the time for it. But yeah, most of this, like starting the company, outsourcing, getting reached out by all these YouTubers, having these big opportunities. This has all happened within like 2.5 months, I think.
Wow. Yeah,
So yeah, I've gained like I think 50 million views in the past 2 months, I think, roughly.
that's
So most of
amazing.
it most of it has happened in the past 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened so quickly. That's surprising. So it kind of just like accelerated when you got like Jujito and Craner, and you started posting more on
Yeah.
social media, and that just kind of attracted a lot of people.
For
And
sure.
then
I
it
th
was
I
just
think
snowball
the main
effect.
reason exactly, I think the main reason it, like, really, like, I got so many people DM me is because there's nobody in the Roblox space that does what we do, creative wise. I
Mhm.
know there's a couple other people that do thumbnail help, algorithm help, how to get your videos to pop up in search features or whatever. But we help with the actual idea, and we work hard on it. We find games. Mainly, finding games is what we most clients want to pay us for. But yeah, it's kinda crazy because I never really posted any of the statistics I had with Bax or Increase, even though I increased Bax's views by about 20%, overall. I never really posted any updates, unless I was congratulating him on hitting a milestone for subscribers, but I never said I helped him hit that. So, then I kinda posted because I think the first video I helped Vegito on, I think is one of his most viewed videos now. I think it has 4.5 million views.
Yeah,
It was the, race clicker video.
yeah.
And then I think I'm trying to remember. I think he sent me, like, the analytics of it, and I posted it, and I think that's what really got people to become really interested, is I showed the analytics of the video, and they saw it was a 1 out of 10 with 700,000 views in, like, 26 hours or something like that, and they're like,
Mhm.
"That's insane." And so I got, like, I wanna say 20 to 30 DMs from, like, verified or YouTubers with over, like, 100K subs in 1 day. So it was kinda crazy. Yeah, that's basically how it kinda planned out.
I still can't believe how like just quickly you gained so many people, and I'm sure you're continuing to gain people, especially now with your team, which we'll talk a little bit more about your team and stuff,
Sure.
because very impressive how you've grown that to even more people now. So you've talked a lot about like what you do, but I think you should go a little bit more into detail of like what you exactly do for these YouTuber and what your team does for these YouTubers in general, and why do they hire you in the first place?
Yeah, so, I can't say exact specifics because obviously we'd be out of business, but,
Mhm.
it's mainly I would say 75% of the time, and I would say actually 100% of the time, but, the people hire us is simply because we are able to find games and determine trends before they happen. And, the great thing is, like, I would say out of I think the 20 YouTubers total that we've worked with, whether it be for a week or for months, I think we've only had a problem with one that didn't understand that's gonna be dead. But yeah, basically to kind of sum it up, we find games on Roblox, we determine trends before they happen. And by trends I mean like Rainbow Friends or Doors or any of these other games that get really, really popular, like Race Clicker. We're able to identify a game like that that we know has really big value, and then send that to creators like Rainbow Friends. I found it when it was at 26 players when I was working for Bax. I
Damn,
sent it to him.
that
Sadly,
is
he didn't
impressive.
trust me enough to upload it, so he didn't. But then after it blew up and got 20,000 players, I was like, "Hey, why didn't you play this?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't think it was the correct, game for my channel." I was like, "Well, man, it's at 115,000 right now." So, we're able to identify this stuff. I think I found Doors when it was in testing. I think it had like 60 players or something like that.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah,
finding
yeah,
all these games early on is mainly what people pay us for, just because we do it better than them and we're able to find it faster than them, which is really good. Titles we help with a little bit. Thumbnail feedback is very rare, but we do help with it. You know, some people like want to know what should I say in the first 15 seconds or the first 5 seconds. What should the intro be? Or what should I do in the video? So we're like, okay, there's this game pass you can buy. There's this NPC that you can, make fun of. If you're with a friend, you can buy this game pass to get an edge over the competition. Like little things that we can point out for the YouTuber to do or to make fun of, and increase like retention and make the video do better overall. But yeah, basically we're there to just give the best ideas we possibly can. And sadly, there are some weeks and even some months where we can't give them the best ideas because there's not new content coming out. And if there's not new content coming out, the main reason we are hired is kind of not there, because if there's not new stuff, how can we give them new stuff, So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's gone really well. I've grown way faster than I thought I would, but yeah, it's kind of just kind of how it works basically.
That's cool. Yeah. Do you guys find like do you find a lot of games before they blow up really often?
Um, it depends on the month. Like, I think the month that Rainbow Friends got popular, Doors came out, Race Clicker got popular, that all happened within, like, a 30-day period. We found all of them before they blew up. Race Clicker, at the beginning, I was a little bit unsure about because it was a copy of Victory Race, but then they added an update where they added pets, and I was like, "Oh, that gives value to the viewer instead of just running forward and getting faster."
Yeah.
So, I saw that and I was like, "Oh, this is great. Thank you so much." Like, Bax taught me that if a game adds just a small piece of value, it's gonna intrigue the viewer. Now, the race clicker videos for Bax and for Digito are like some of their most viewed videos. So, there's stuff like that. And no, it's not. I would say it really depends on the month. Like so far this month, no trends at all. Last month, I think one or two at the beginning, but nothing like to the extent of Rainbow Friends or Doors.
Yeah.
About 30,000 players concurrently, not in the hundreds of thousands. This month, yeah, not so far. It's been like a 30-day period where we haven't gotten anything. But we know near the end of this month or December, there's going to be a lot, and that's why we're kind of prepping for that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So you kind of answered this a little bit before, but do you
Mhm.
have any like specific reasons why you decided to be behind the scenes instead of being a YouTuber?
The big thing was definitely time to money. Like I noticed if I were to put 20 hours into one video, I would make couple dollars. I mean, even if I was big at the time, the time I was putting in would just not the money wouldn't show. And I think the other problem is that I would get halfway through the video and I would just lose focus. I would lose my effort. I would lose the consistency and I would kind of just give up and then I would eventually come back to it and finish it because I know it's the right thing to do. But with this job, I can sit here all day and learn and find different things and, not be known to the world. Like,
Yeah.
I am way less popular than I was when I did YouTube, and I love that, and I love that I'm only, like, really popular in the, kind of back the behind the scenes of YouTubers. Like, most people behind the scenes know of me, but, if I was on YouTube, I'd have hundreds of thousands of people seeing my face every month, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, the main part was like I was realizing, okay, for certain times I was putting in 50 hours, 60 hours a week into all these videos, or coming up with ideas and then making the video and then scrapping them because I thought it wasn't good enough. I did that a lot. A lot of people are like, your videos like back in the day when I did Bed Wars, like these can only take you 2 to 3 hours max. How are you spending that many hours a week? It doesn't add up. I was like, I scrap like out of every three videos I make, I scrap like two of them.
Mm.
So, that's what I would do is I'd put all my effort in, and then even some of the times I would choose out of those 3 the best one, it wouldn't do good. So I'm, like, putting in 8 hours for, like, 3 videos, but I'm getting out, like, less than the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Even if it was, like it would make me enough that I could go get a job, work 1 hour, and make that instead of spending 8 hours to make that, and I was like, "That's just not worth my time." I'm about to graduate, I need something that actually I can live off of, so I was like, "What if I help people? What if I just say, 'Hey, pay me this much a month, we'll provide this value to you,'" and that's kinda how we figured it out, and obviously our prices are increasing and stuff like that, but, it's consistent, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more like because I feel like YouTube, you can have inconsistent months. You have months where you make a lot of money. You
Exactly.
have months where you make nothing. So it's definitely more
Mhm.
like the safer route, less risky. And
True.
some people like the more risky YouTube route. Some people like the more kind of behind the scenes route. So pretty cool that you like the whole behind the scenes. Let's talk a little bit about your team because you've grown
Yeah.
your whole team to a lot of different people. You've trained a lot of people to be able to help you out, and
Mhm.
I find that pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit about your team. How many people do you have in your team, and do they have like different jobs for different people?
Yeah, so we have me obviously as the CEO. I still kind of train most people. I know I get some help from some other people on the team, but right now it's me. Basically like my COO or right hand man, Aiden or Hero Raven Song. He, is kind of there. He knows the most about the business besides me. So, we'll talk a little bit on the future, but I'm gonna kinda step back from the company a little bit day-to-day wise. I'll still make the big decisions and everything, but him and my advisor, Jeffrey, are actually gonna basically be running it. Jeffrey what I mean by advisor is he kind of helps with, giving us background like, "Hey," like, he'll go research a client and be like, "Hey, is this person someone we wanna work with?" Or maybe see if they had big drama in the past, we don't want to work with them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we've been a lot more mature about things and more corporate, if you get what I mean. Like, we originally was just a bunch of guys in a group, literally just playing Roblox games all day and just coming up with titles and then sending it off. Now we have a system. we still use Google Docs, but we color code things. We have a system to it. We've had to be way more like legitimate about it. But then we have Devin. He is our other consultant. He also works with, actually, he just had 2 clients drop, but, basically, he is just one of our regular consultants. He's always learning. He's working with creators. We had 2 others, but they both quit. One of them quit because he couldn't wait until we had enough clients, and then the other person quit because she didn't have enough time. Um, but, luckily, we haven't had anybody quit for, like, bad reasons on our side,
Yeah.
but yeah, the team right now is about 4 people. We just brought on 2 more people because we know December is gonna be big, and we know we have to prepare for it, and we know we're gonna get, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that are gonna message us, and we have to get ready for that and be able to be like, "Hey, yeah, these people are trained. We can start next week." So, yeah, the team will probably stay at about 6. I think the max amount of people we'll ever have is probably 8. Like, I don't see it getting any bigger than that, and I don't want it to get any bigger than that because at that point, we have to we don't do contracts, and we're about to start doing contracts, but, we have to go through all the legal stuff, and that's just way too much work, when we know if we have it small, we all trust each other, we're all nice, we're a group of friends, and if you have too many people, there's gonna be problems.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's basically what my team is. There's 2 people that do the work, 1 person that runs the company, and 1 person that helps us, with decisions and kind of the background on people and helps us just get an outside perspective because he's not technically a part of the company legally, but he's just kind of there. He hasn't, he's not our employee, but he's there to give us background on stuff and think outside the box because he's not a part of the company, so he doesn't have the mindset that we do. He has like kind of like a YouTuber mindset, so we can see what the client would be seeing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
Really helpful.
your team is doing great. That's very impressive that you have like a team of people and you're hiring more.
Exactly.
So it definitely helps you out a lot, right? Instead of being kind of like individual.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's so much easier because with the amount of like, content creators we had reach out to us, like, oh my gosh, it would have taken me alone more than 24 hours a day, which I know is not even possible, but the amount of work, I was like, "I can't be working that much. I need to have a life. I need to" and
Yeah.
I will admit with some creators, I didn't realize how big of a workload it was, and I just took them on anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot, and we kinda have to pick and choose because we know we don't want creators that are gonna be either rude or, whatever the reason may be. It is kind of a difficult process, but we know that if we find the right creator, it's gonna be a smooth sailing, if you get what I mean.
This is gonna be a fun one. You've probably worked with a good amount of clients. What is the worst moment you've had with a client?
Oh gosh. I don't think I've actually had a really bad moment with a client. Um I think there's been some clients, obviously, I'm not gonna, like, reveal who, but clients that are no longer working with us that we had problems with, like, um, one of them did have a big problem. I'm obviously not gonna leak who it was, but, um, there's people that we've had problems with. Most of the clients, like, that we have still with us, we've never really had problems with. Some clients that, like, are obviously lying, it's a little bit to deal with. Like, we have a client that like, I forgot, he said he was, like, really busy, but I can see he's playing Call of Duty on Discord.
Oh yeah, I hate
So,
when that
we're like,
happens.
"Okay,
That's terrible.
you're not busy, man, like, just get in a call with us or even just chat with us." Like, that's a bit to deal with, and it's really annoying, and we know we really can't do anything about it. I think probably the worst thing to deal with is definitely clients that, you know, they they don't take our feedback or they don't take like, they don't trust us for what they're paying us for.
Yeah,
Like, you're paying us
that is
several
rough.
thousand dollars a month, but you don't trust us? Like, that's the reason you hired us is that we're trustworthy, we're gonna give you what you need, and we're gonna try to work with you. But besides that, probably the worst clients are the ones that don't give us feedback. We've had one client in particular that did not give us any feedback, and if he did, it was just, "Game's bad," and we're like, "Okay, can't really do anything with that feedback. You're supposed to say why you don't like it, and that's like, how are we supposed to improve if you're not giving us anything to work with? So we just kind of got in a roadblock, and then yeah, that's kind of the other client we also had the problem with, where kind of just kind of just a difficult experience, but we know that from now on we need to work with clients that are more mature, and as I said, that's why we do more background checks now and kind of see what the client's gonna kind of plan out to be.
Next up is very interesting one. I've been looking forward to this question. You know what I'm about to ask. Who is
Yes.
the biggest client you've talked to? So, because you've been growing a lot, right? Probably
Yeah.
have a lot of people reaching out to you. Maybe you're reaching out to some people. So, who is the biggest? And maybe you can even talk about a few other people too, but definitely the biggest one.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I'll say kind of who the bigger ones I've talked to, but I'm gonna keep this till the end because I want to give you good retention.
That's fair.
But
Yeah, guys, keep
some of
watching.
the bigger ones, like obviously working with Craner. Yeah, he was one of the bigger ones. He's currently the biggest one we still work with. I've talked to a lot of those really massive foreign creators. And that's how I kind of found out that some of those foreign creators that have 5 to 10 million subscribers and post 3 or 4 videos a day. Some of them are I gotta admit are really like they're kind of jerks. Like they will just take from the English speaking audiences and they won't give any credit
Oh yes,
to
that
them
happens
and
all the
it's
time.
oh my gosh. And they're like, "Well, why do we need you when we can just copy them?" I was like, "Do you really wanna be copying them?" But, it's a different audience. I get why they do it, and I get also why they don't see the value in my services or our team's services, but the biggest YouTuber we worked for, well, that I've talked to, and I got to talk to him yesterday, and I was shaking during the phone call, but I was in a call with FaZe Rug,
No
um,
way.
and
What?
dude, I was freaking out, like so basically on YouTube Jobs, like, I applied for the position,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that I was getting message because it was almost like a month and a half, and I got no message. And then his manager messaged me, gave me his phone number. I kind of talked to him a little bit, went over what they want and stuff. And then Rug called me yesterday, like out of the blue. I just saw it, and it was like because I had him in my contacts, and it's his real phone number, and I obviously can't leak it, but I was
Wow.
like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually Rug." And I talked to him. He's super, super nice, man. Exactly how he is in the videos. Like he's funny. He's such a cool guy to talk to, and I'll hopefully be working with him in the future. That would be really cool. He's kind of one of my dream creators to work for, and but no, it was crazy, man. Like I could tell it was him. I knew it was his voice, and that was just that was just an insane moment. And I showed my friends like I think I didn't record any parts of the call, but like I showed them that it actually was him because I showed it through like the YouTube job stuff.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, dude, I was shaking during, like, the whole call, and, like, even some stuff I said, like, I had voice cracks, like, it was kinda crazy, but nah, dude, that's one of the probably the best creator experiences I've had in my life because you think that some of these big people are just putting on a face. They're
Yeah.
just putting on this brand, and it's like, no, this guy's actually like this. Like Mr. Beast
Damn.
is probably the same. He's not as hyped out, obviously, but like these people are all way more calmer than they are. But he was almost exactly the same. Like he didn't sound dead. You could tell he's busy, but and it seemed like he actually like I know he's trying to hire me, but the fact that he actually was trying to, hear me out. He was asking questions. He was like it's not like he was just like, "Uh-huh, okay, cool, whatever, next question." He was, like, actually engaged in the conversation and what I was saying, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, for sure," and then he would bounce off ideas off each other and stuff like that, but, yeah, I mean, if I get that job, and I'll obviously let you know within a couple weeks, but, if I get that job, that's gonna change my life forever. Yeah.
Honestly, I did not expect FaZe Rug.
Yeah. Most people don't. When I tell them, they're like, "No way."
Oh, so he was like the exact same as the videos. Like
Yep.
that's
Yep,
surprising.
he's really nice. He's not as hyper obviously, but he's a really good guy. You can tell he actually and he's so involved. Like most YouTubers like have a creative team and aren't really involved. He is like talking daily with his creative team, getting in calls with them, and I was like, dude, that's so awesome. So I mean, he's one YouTuber I definitely want to work with. I mean, he's just such a nice guy.
How do you think he found you? Like, do you know how he found you?
Oh, through the YouTube jobs thing, I applied for
Oh,
the job.
he found you through there. Was
Yeah,
that when
yeah.
you was that when you were like really high up?
Yeah, I think it was
Number two
4th or 5th, but,
or fifth?
yeah, I
Yeah.
applied I applied to the job, and the amount of people that applied to that job is crazy. So, like, you know, I was not expecting to even get close to that happening, but, he reached out to me and luckily I made like, the top, 10 people. Um, because I know that like, they talked with the manager and then you had to pass talking to the manager and then I passed that and then I passed talking to Rug. So I'm kind of at the top candidate stage, I think. I remember he told me he's like, I'm the only there's two people and I'm one of the people they're considering. So I mean, if I can get the job, man, that will change my life. That will be truly amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy. That is so impressive. That you went from like just starting up this little thing with a few small Roblox creators, phase rug,
Exactly.
in like
It's
3 months.
true. Yeah, and well, there's actually a couple more. Funk Bros. I completely forgot about them.
Funk Bros.
Funk
Who's
Bros reached out to me. They do well, they used to be really big back in 2016, 2017, 2018, around that era. But I mean, I used to watch them all the time, and I told my sister that they reached out to me. And I'm also in talks with them as well. Obviously, I would choose Phase Rug because that opportunity is just so massive. But if the Phase Rug thing doesn't work out, the Funk Bros that'd be amazing, right? Like they're just so many massive creators, and it's just cool to talk with them. Like even if I don't get the job, it's just cool to see what it is at that level, at that production quality. You know what I mean? It is crazy, man.
Let's talk a little bit about shorts. And I know you had something that you were going to talk about, right? To do with shorts, kind
Yeah,
of. Okay, yeah.
yeah. With shorts, I actually have a project in the background where I'm working with this guy. We've been working on it for a couple. I mean, I've been personally working on it for a couple weeks, but I reached out to this guy on Twitter. His name is I think it's Aura or something like that. I completely forget his name is. Um, Basically, he helped me. And I got on a call with him last night. Super super nice guy. He runs like 15 channels, man, for shorts, and he's making like 15K a month. Like it's
Wow.
crazy. He's 15, and I was like, no
Damn.
way, this guy's that wealthy. So I talked with him, and he's gonna help me, grow a shorts channel where I can basically like talk about, things you didn't know about Roblox, Roblox mystery stuff, documentary style videos, and then be posting shorts every day. And so he's going to help me with that. And that's a project I've been working on for a long time because I don't have the time to edit my own videos. I don't have the time to post them. I rather hire someone that has shorts experience than me to just, kind of do it with, the little shorts experience I have. And so if I can have him do it, I mean, if you think about it, like that's gonna be, I mean, that's gonna be the crazy amount of growth we're gonna have. And he
Yeah.
guaranteed, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna hit 100K within 2 months." I was like, "Whoa, really?" And I told him my goal is 100K in a month, and he was like, "Oh, you'll probably hit it." Like that's crazy to hear. Like that's just nuts. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I kind of want to have channels where I can just sit down, have a bunch of video ideas, have a bunch of scripts, read them out, send it over to the editor. The editor sends it over to Aura or whoever the producer is. The producer, optimizes it to do well in the algorithm, and then they post it. Because I still have so many good ideas. I know that my voice can be used as a YouTube voice.
Yeah.
Problem is, I just don't have the time to even upload them. Like I don't even have the time. Even if I got an editor, I don't have the time to optimize them. So I'm just my time is also so valuable that I feel like if I'm putting that much effort in it and it fails, it's not worth it. But if I'm putting in little effort and it fails, I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I feel like shorts have been like a huge opportunity, and a lot of YouTubers aren't even jumping on it. I'm
Mhm.
about to start jumping on it. I'm gonna make probably a few shorts a week, especially with my content. I can definitely push out a good amount of shorts. Yeah, there have been so many channels that just do shorts that have gained like a few million subscribers. Even in the Roblox niche, I've seen a lot of people
Yup.
completely blow up with shorts.
For sure. Yeah, shorts are massive, but there's downsides to them, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
there's so many problems and people that have a million subscribers on shorts, if you were to get that with long term, like that'd be like 100K.
Yeah, it's a whole different
So
connection. Like you don't
exactly.
exactly
And
connect with your fans the same way.
true. Yeah, and I feel like people that do hybrid channels, like so much respect to them because they're putting in basically double work for double the results, and it's smart too. But people aren't willing to do both. And it's becoming popular. Like when I talked with Aura, he knows how to convert shorts channels into long form channels. So that's becoming more popular. The popularity of how shorts analytics work is just becoming so popular that there's people that are now specializing in it, which is crazy because it's only been out for about a year. So to have, that kind of growth and that kind of knowledge in a year is just crazy to me. But no, yeah, shorts are gonna be the future for sure. I don't see them ever overtaking long
TikTok?
form
Oh,
ever.
oh, the long form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never gonna overtake long form ever. It might overtake it TikTok. I think TikTok's gonna die out within a couple years. I
Really?
mean, all the
Yeah,
problems with the
it might.
government, you
That's
know what
true.
I mean? The problems with them, they added like a stupid Be Real ripoff and it barely got used.
Oh, I saw
They
that.
tried adding
That was
they tried
terrible.
adding stories. It's just a terrible feature. It nothing works. And TikTok just also the big problem is the ad split money, like, the revenue split is terrible. It's like 0.00001 cent,
Yeah.
like, for, like, 1,000 views. That's terrible. Like,
It's
YouTube
so
has
bad.
way better than that.
Yeah,
Um,
especially with the, like, shorts fund, and now they're gonna
exactly.
have monetization with shorts. Gonna be
Yep.
way better than TikTok. 100%.
Exactly. TikTok's never gonna be able to turn into a long form platform, and the fact that also doesn't have its website optimized as a website, it has it optimized as an app. Like, if you went to
Yeah.
the TikTok website and you scroll down, all of it is in the format of a phone.
Yep.
So why are you going to the website when you can just go to the app? Like, they should make their website, like, long form based. If they did that and then somehow integrated it with the TikTok app, that's the only way they're gonna be able to do it. They could not do it going from app to website. They have to do website to app if you're gonna do, long form content, but I don't know, or they should have something called TikTok TV, I think that would be really smart, where it's kinda like Instagram TV, where they have like, people can upload full videos, they can run ads, and
That
it's
would be
something they can
cool.
watch on their phone and on the website, but yeah, no, TikTok's got so many problems, and they're making so many stupid decisions, so we'll see how it pans out.
I mean, they've kind of been trying to, like, fix it. I saw they were making more I saw more long form videos on my feed. Like, they allow, like, 3-minute videos. I think maybe even past that now. But
Mhm.
it's still not, like, YouTube level or anything at all. So,
Yep. Yep. They can't I don't think they'll ever be able to beat YouTube. I don't think
nope,
ever. I don't think
it's
anybody's gonna be able to
impossible.
beat YouTube.
Bro, I don't think people even realize, like, YouTube comes on. I've heard Mr. Beast say this a ton of times, but, like, YouTube comes on every, like, Android phone because like
Exactly.
whenever it has because it's connected to Google, so
Yep, Google owns everything, so
it's with it has Google collaborating with it, so it's like one of the biggest search engines.
yeah, yeah, I noticed that. Like, I went to Google Trends one day, and I noticed that if you look up Roblox on YouTube, versus Roblox on Google, YouTube
Yeah.
is almost beating Google out when you look up Roblox. That's
Wow.
crazy. Like, that's
Hmm.
just nuts. And, same thing with, like, other creators. Like, if you were to look up Mr. Beast, YouTube beats out Google by a mile, which I know is obviously more common,
Oh
but,
yeah, obviously, but yeah. Hmm.
you look up games or just and generalized stuff in the media, YouTube's almost always, unless it's like a website, it's gonna pop up on YouTube more than it is on Google, which is just crazy.
Speaking of speaking of YouTube, do you have any advice for the fellow YouTube creators that are watching this podcast? I know a lot of people here watching the podcast probably produce content, so anyone on YouTube doesn't even have to be just YouTube, but just anyone creating content in general. Seeing that you're a creative director and you work with a lot of people and a lot of clients, do you have any specific advice that you can give to people that you've noticed has made a big change in a lot of your clients' work?
Oh, for sure. Taking time to actually think about the title and thumbnail and really just trying to get a flow, right? I mean, a lot of the struggling creators out there, especially on YouTube, guys, take advice and use it. Take feedback and use it. The difference between a massive creator and a small creator is the massive creator is going to understand, even if it's bad feedback, even if someone's saying, this video's trash. The I clicked off here, it's bad. The YouTuber's gonna be like, okay, let me implement not that in my next video. Let me improve on that. Let me take this data that YouTube is giving me and use it to my advantage. Small creators, on the other hand, like 99% of them, we give them feedback, or anybody gives them feedback. It could be a friend, it could be another just random person, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really like this. Maybe change the thumbnail here. I clicked off here, so maybe cut that out or whatever." and they'll be like, "Okay, cool, thanks. I think this is good though," and they just upload it. No, 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 no. If you're not willing to put in the effort and the time to change one little thing or improve it here, that is most likely what is stopping the entire video and your entire channel from doing good. Like little things like that. Like there are some big YouTubers that I've had to work with that don't take like constructive criticism, and it's so frustrating. It's like, dude, you are a millionaire, you have $1 million YouTube empire. You're millions of subscribers, multiple channels. You have a whole team behind you, but you won't take feedback to improve what you're already doing. It
That's
makes
the
no sense to
worst.
me. Um, the other big thing is like, if you're a friend of a YouTuber and they ask you for feedback, don't be like, "Oh yeah, it's great." No, 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 no. There's always something you can improve. I hate when people do that. I hate when I ask for feedback. Like I made a Twitter thread, I think about a couple days ago, and I asked like, "Hey, can I get feedback? Hey, what do you think?" I messaged like 30 people, and most of them, messaged me back, and they all said, "Oh yeah, it's great, good job." And I was like, "Okay, there's obviously something I can improve on. What do I do?" And, all these people are like, "Oh, maybe change the beginning of the Twitter thread. Okay, maybe add this picture instead of that one." Those are people that's like, "Okay, thank you so much." I followed them all back on Twitter or, I sent them like Discord Nitro or something like that actually helped me. But, when it comes to like just general feedback, like if you are a YouTuber, use the feedback. And YouTube is giving you the analytics, it's giving you the statistics to succeed. You just need to know how to figure that out. Like a lot of people don't understand it. YouTube's giving you every tool that they can legally and possibly give you. And if you're not using those to your advantage, I'm sorry, but just don't be a YouTuber at that point. Like you need to use retention graphs, you need to use the search feature, everything.
Yep.
Find a way that can benefit your channel. It's the only way you're going to do good on YouTube, unless you get like really lucky, obviously. But look at the data. YouTube gives it to you. Might as well use it.
That's amazing advice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just feel like putting in the extra mile, like the viewers can definitely tell when you actually put effort into your video and your title and your
100%.
thumbnail. Like there whenever I go on my homepage, there are some thumbnails and title combos that like I have to actually take a screenshot and save because of how good those are. And
Exactly.
you should strive to make every single one of your videos like that. That you would like actually save it because how good of a combo it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to People don't understand. Like, look around on YouTube. Like, if you're about to
Mhm.
start a YouTube channel or you're a small creator and you're not seeing any growth, I would go on the trending tab, whatever obviously niche you're in, or I would look up whatever niche you're in. If you do Roblox, look up Roblox. If you do IRL content, look up vlogs, right? If whatever, find the competition and study those videos, right? Just take the time. Like
Yeah.
to to work for FaZe Rug, I'm going to have to watch basically every single video he's posted in the past 2 years. That is my goal. So by the time I work for him, if I even do work with him, I'm gonna know everything. I'm gonna be way ahead of people that just got hired and started working. Like, because I'm already prepping all this stuff. I have so many video ideas. If he does hire me, I can just give him. And the fact that people aren't putting this effort in, or they're putting such a minimal amount in, it's just crazy to me, man. Just grind. It's gonna be worth it. Every single time I've grinded for anything, it's always paid off. So just do it. I don't
For
get why
sure.
people don't.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about your company that you
Mhm.
recently made, Real Time CD. So
Yes.
I'm on the Twitter page right now, and you say it's a consulting agency. So talk to me a little
Yes.
talk to me a little bit about what it is, what you guys do, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so basically we're like a creative direction company. That's what the CD means.
Yeah.
We tried to get other ats, but they're all taken. So basically, what we do is it's the same thing of what I do. We just have a team to do it instead of, and I was thinking like if I eventually do have to kind of step back from the company and let things run itself, I'm not really going to be tied to the company as much as I am right now. And I know that I want the company to grow while I'm not able to do day to day. So I can why not give it a brand and give it a platform to start doing well. But basically, yeah, I mean, if you're interested in working with us or whatever, DM it or DM me. I would prefer if you DM the business account just because it's a lot better. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's so I mean, we just launched it. I've had that I've had that account for gosh, about a month, and I've been holding off on it. Originally, we were gonna do like a really cringy like ad,
Mhm.
like like a 30-second ad, and then we were thinking about doing another like different type of ad, and then we're like, okay, well, let's throw $1,000 at like Twitter advertising. Like we had so many ideas. I'm like, you know what? Let's just launch it and let's just use everybody that works at the company post updates and just tell everybody to follow that account. And it's already got like 30 followers, which isn't terrible. And most of them are creators. So if we ever make tweets, we can be like, hey, we just brought on this client. It's just better for branding, a better look for the company, a lot more professional. And we're like, yeah, might as well do it. It's not going to hurt.
Do you have like the same team as your normal team, but it's just
Yep.
labeled as like a company?
Yeah,
That's
basically
cool.
just branding ourselves. Like most people DM me and they don't know I have a team.
Oh
So
yeah,
I was like,
that's
might as
true.
well make it like public knowledge. So but
Yeah,
there's yeah, if you want to work with anybody, we're eventually gonna make a website. And but like, we don't have the time to even find someone. Right now we just gotta focus, get ready for December, and then I think probably January is when we'll make a website. But kind
nice.
of just preparing, training, getting better at what we do, bringing on more people, bringing on more clients, and just going through December and see how it goes.
Yeah, December is gonna be a good month for you, and
100%.
maybe even like some of the Black Friday area too. You think a lot
Yeah,
more?
for sure.
You think a lot more games are gonna be released by the end of the year?
Oh, 100%. I already know I've already talked to some developers of, like, big, like, really thought out games that they've been working on since, like, last December are gonna come out. I know, like, a bunch of good simulators are gonna be made. You're gonna have the Christmas themed games, the snowy themed games. You're gonna have the Christmas updates. So, we know confirmed we're gonna be able to give a lot of content, but I don't see really anything happening until, like, the 10th of December, or maybe a little bit at the end of this month, but I don't see any big trends happening. Obviously, I don't know for sure. There could be a Rainbow Friends that just came out 10 minutes ago,
Mhm.
or something like that at that level. So yeah, I can't say for sure, but I don't see anything happening until December. To be fair.
Yeah, this guy knows his stuff. You have like all these dates already noted.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, we've already done some of the math. Like we already have. I mean, I can't show you obviously, but we have a Google Calendar where we literally have dates of like new game. Like we've talked to developers and we're like testing starts on this game, new game releases this day. Call with this developer, see if we can get a code for this YouTuber. We have like if I showed you the Google Calendar, there's at least 6 notifications for each day, even on weekends. So it's a lot.
That's awesome. Very very busy calendar. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of work though.
You have any other projects in the works you could talk about?
Well, obviously the Shorts channel.
Yeah.
Um, I think this is kind of a project, but it's also kind of the team. We're eventually all going to move down to somewhere in Texas, most likely Austin.
Oh yeah, I saw you tweeting
Um,
about that. You're trying to
yeah,
like
we want to
get
we
a
want to
lot of
move down
people.
there.
Your whole team?
Yeah, or well, besides the person in Australia, but basically everybody else that we have on the US team. We're gonna. Oh my gosh, I completely did forget about a person on our team. Sorry, I forgot Lynn. She lives in Australia. She works with one creator, but the reason she's not like entirely part of the team is just because of the time difference is so bad
Oh yeah, that sucks.
that by the time we're having a team call, it's like early morning for her, and so we're like, ugh, we can't. It's gonna be impossible to set it up. So we kind of gave up there, but yeah, when it does come to everybody in the US is just we're all gonna move down to Austin somewhere. We've already been looking at some really nice houses. We have people we know, YouTube friends, clients. I mean, I know Rye Guy Rocky, I think lives down there. Vid Summit's gonna be there next year. I know Ashley, the unicorn, lives down there. I think there's been a lot of people that I'm pretty sure do live down there, and also like a lot of YouTube creatives and some of my creative producer friends. And so we know a lot of people down there, and also it's pretty nice. So sometime in January, February, we're gonna go. We're gonna go take a vacation down there as a team, see if we like it, tour a bunch of apartments and houses to rent, and it's gonna be fun. And eventually, we'll probably get an office building down there once we become big enough. But yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the better places to go just because of all the people we know.
That's awesome. Oh, so you're gonna have a whole office building eventually? Your team?
Probably once we're valued at $1 million, we'll probably rent out like a floor at some type of office building.
When do you see that happening?
Probably mid next year, because right now we're valued at like around $200,000.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, if next year it'd probably be a million. My goal is to be a millionaire by 23, and I don't mean asset wise. I mean like in the bank.
Yeah.
Like I want $1 million liquidity just sitting in my bank account.
That's a good goal.
Um, And then, yeah, the company should be worth about 1,000,000 come next year. I mean, that means we only have to do about $85,000 a month. We're kind of nearing there. This month's been kind of on and off. Like we've had people leave, we've had people join, we've had just a bunch of other stuff. But I know December is going to be a smooth sailing if we can really plan stuff out.
Yeah. That brings us pretty well into the next topic, which
Mhm.
is financials. So,
Yep.
yeah, so could you talk a little bit about that?
So yeah, we expected to do about 30,000, $40,000 come December, revenue wise. We did again. We had two people quit, and then we also had three clients drop. Luckily, again, none of them are for bad reasons, thank God. But they're like, I want to change my content, or hey, this channel's not monetized yet. So when it becomes monetized, we can start working with you again, or whatever the reason was, right? Um, so overall, when it does come to stuff like that, we know it's a bit of a struggle. And right now I think we're doing 15 to 20,000. And I know by the end of this month, once we secure all these clients, get started, yeah, we think December is going to be probably 30s, low, like high 29,
Yeah,
$28,000 a month. And then personally for me, my cut is 40%. So basically, I get these people that sign these NDAs, fill out the employment, I give them training, I bring them the clients. They keep 60% of whatever the client pays. And so it goes through the business account, and then I pay them out because they're my employees. But yeah, I mean, technically speaking, I could be paying myself out $11,000 a month. I pay myself out $1,000
really?
because there's
Wow.
no reason to have
Yeah,
all this money, and also the fact that taxes, like if I paid myself out $10,000 for the rest of the year, I'm gonna have to pay way more in taxes. And I know that next year I can just pay myself out like a lump sum of $70,000, right?
yeah,
And that can just be my salary for the whole year. So, and the fact I don't have to pay rent, I don't have to, really buy a lot. I kind of just buy food or buy stuff for other people, or buy clothes. But it's very rare I buy clothes. It's only if like I'm out of clothes or something, whatever the reason is. But I don't spend a lot of money, which is great. But yeah, mainly a company I know is gonna do well over time. I know I'm gonna make money over time. I mean, that's kinda it, really financially wise, not a lot that's really happening there. It's just we're making money, and we kinda keep we gotta, chug along. We gotta keep going.
that's awesome. So what's the future plan for your team and your company? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but
Mhm.
like, where do you see yourself in like 5 years? Like, what is like the future for you guys?
Um, I think, yeah, 5 years for sure we'll be down in Austin or some state while we living together. I wanna be worth, a gajillion dollars. No, I'm just kidding. I wanna be at least worth $1,000,000 by that time. If not, I'm not worth 1,000,000 by 23, I'm gonna be pretty pissed off at myself,
Yeah,
that I didn't put enough time in, or I didn't put enough effort. And I'm really trying to get there. But if I'm a millionaire by 23, that's awesome. If I'm still a millionaire by 25, that's even better. Um, if I have multi-millions, I would obviously put stuff in index funds and buy real estate, and really be smart with my money. But
yeah,
yeah, when it does come to the future of the company, I see us doing well over $1,000,000 a year by the time that we really get settled down, and really in a rhythm, and stuff like that. I see us easily eventually getting sold for a stupid amount of money, and I see myself, if we do get sold, to because the end goal is not to get sold, but if it's a stupid amount of money, 20,
yeah,
30, 40, 50, $50 million, like obviously I'm gonna take it. But um, I would love to, with that money, just start another consulting agency and just kind of do the same thing, but do it better, because we did it once before, kind of figuring out what we need to do. Like we're still figuring out how to run this company and do it at a good place. If I'm able to take all the knowledge I had over those years of running the company, I can just make my own and compete with my old company, and I could probably beat them. So, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's so easy. That's just it's gonna be a nice rhythm. It's gonna be consistent. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, I hope that I'm able to be really, really wealthy, and share that wealth. Like I wanna pay off the house for my mom and dad. I want to give them a salary of like $100,000 a year that they can both just kind of live off of, and then eventually retire. I I want to buy a nice car. I want to buy a house for myself. I want to buy my entire team, like, probably a couple cars. I want to buy them experiences. Like, I know my mom and dad want to go to different places. I think they want to go to Ireland. Like, I would pay them
Yeah.
a ridiculous amount of I'd pay for the whole thing. Like they could spend 2 months in Ireland. I don't care. Like, get them front row seats at concerts. I would probably only spend 100, $200,000 a year, and most of that would probably be on like investing things. The rest would probably be on like actual livable stuff, and the rest I'd just be giving away. Um, I wouldn't want to do charity just because I know charity. I know that I might get some hate for this, but charity is just like such a kind of a it's a corporate thing, and I hate it, and I rather give it directly to people. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Like, if someone's gonna, like, do it like Mr. Beast. Like, Mr. Beast made his own charity so he can do it correct. Like, if he gave, millions of dollars to St. Jude, that has to go through the company account, that has to go through all the corporate stuff. It has to, and then eventually by the time it gets to the people, it's like $500,000 instead of 1,000,000. Obviously
Yeah.
taxes, but, when it does come down to that, like, I rather give someone $1,000,000 and they get taxed on, like, they 400,000 of it is gone to taxes, and they're stuck with like 600,000, than give St. Jude or whatever it is, $100,000. I do donate to charity, but I'm not willing to donate that much just because I know other people already are. So I would want to give people directly. Like, I want to eventually just take out $10,000 and in $10 bills and just give people $10, like, just around the street, just walk around, give 30, 40, $50, throw money out the window at people. Like, I just want to give
Mhm.
people stuff because I know that, I mean, when I originally got let go of backs, I felt like I was like, dude, I might have to go back to working at a bowling alley. You know what I mean? And now the company's doing well, we're doing well. Like, if I can get to the point where I can help people that were in my position, making minimum wage, not being happy, if I can give them opportunities and money to be a better person, I'm 100% going to do that.
Yeah, I definitely see your team going up in the future. You guys are growing very quickly, and I don't see any signs of stopping. So, congratulations on everything, all the success. Do you have any final
Thank you.
words before we end the podcast? Anything you want to say?
Let's see. Reach out to me if you don't want to work with me. I would say, keep grinding no matter what you're doing. If you're working at a retail job, I don't know, figure out a way to make better money. Don't just sit there and become a mindless drone. Like, I feel like
Yep.
that's the problem with a lot of people. They go out of high school, they go to college, they get a terrible job, they live it for the rest of their life.
Yep.
I'm dropping out of college. Like, I think
W.
it's useless. Like, get experience. Experience in this industry today is going to outweigh college tenfold. Like, I was talking to people in my industry because my mom's like, don't drop out of college. It's a great backup plan. And I was like, okay, really? You think is that what you think? And I messaged all these people that run consulting agencies and stuff like that. I was like, hey, if if you had a position open, would you want to hire me? And they're like, oh, 100%. I'd love to have someone like you on the team. And I was like, why? I don't have a college degree. He's like, not a single person on the team has a college degree. So that's like
Mhm.
my point. Like, a college degree is only going to
Yeah,
get you so far. Experience is going to outweigh everything. I mean, my dad
100%.
dropped out of college as well, and he was working at Facebook at one point. So you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, if experience is going to outweigh these people that are fresh out of college, with a degree that they spent money to get. I rather not spend money and make a bunch. Would you
Yeah.
rather be spending $10,000 every semester and be able to make $15,000 every semester, so you're only profiting 5, and then taxes also take a toll on that? Or would you rather be making $15,000 and spending 1,000? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a different thing, and people don't understand that there's so many different ways around it. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
putting in the time, if you can find one thing and grind it out, you're gonna be good. You're fine. Just
Mhm.
just take the time. People don't take the time. You gotta take the time.
For sure. Thank you so much for coming on, G Dizzle. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast. Make sure to follow G Dizzle. I'll put all of his social media in the description. So go follow him, check him out. He's an amazing creative director. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.